Welcome back, friends, to Reminisce with Terry, as we celebrate 2023 World Pride here in Sydney. In this episode, we're going to have a look at that very first Sydney Mardi Gras, why it started, and what was the results. Join me, will you? The Sydney Mardi Gras began on June 24th, 1978, when a small group of a couple of hundred gay and lesbian people operating as the Gay Solidarity Group staged a day of events in Sydney to promote gay and lesbian culture and encourage political activism against the discrimination they routinely experienced. They organised a morning march and a late night street party to be held in Sydney in commemoration of the 1969 Stonewall riots in New York, a violent, spontaneous act of resistance to the ongoing police persecution of homosexuals that had birthed the gay rights movement in Western countries. Every day was difficult for us, recalled 78 March participant Robin Kennedy, who was 24 at the time.
We were having a Mardi Gras. It was supposed to be a fun event. We had music and we were given permission to be in the streets and we were dancing. We were just feeling free and spontaneous and having fun.
Some people came along and suggested that we have a nighttime fun event for our community, which would be a bit of a street party and that sort of thing as well. And
there was overt hostility and oppression and discrimination. You couldn't walk down the streets holding your partner's hand. Ms. Kennedy said the police arrived en masse and had removed their identifying badges, basically started bashing people and throwing them into paddy wagons. 53 people were taken to Darlinghurst Police Station and charged under the Summary Offences Act.
The majority of homosexuals say their lifestyles today are punctuated by deception, compromise and fear. But then a recent poll indicated that of 2,000 people, less than a third were strongly against homosexuality. Could confrontation and conflict harm the gay cause?
To get a bit anxious and started to speed us up and then stopped the march. They stopped the truck, took the
That
keys,
first Mardi
dragged the
Gras was
driver
held
out.
on a cold
Few people
night
were
in
arrested there. There was a lot of
Sydney,
angst and
in 1978. A small group of protesters formed to contribute to the international gay celebrations. They decided to march towards King's Cross and assemble at El Alamein Fountain for their peaceful night celebration. The assembled riot police, who outnumbered the marchers, had other ideas. Even though the marchers had gained official approval to conduct the march, police removed their badges and launched at the protesters. The resulting police violence and arrests created a defining night not only for Sydney's LGBTQI+ community, but also for Australia's cultural heritage. The idea of the first Mardi Gras was to draw attention to serious issues facing the LGBTQI+ community, while celebrating being queer and showing the creativity of the community. Today, it is important for all members of the queer community to come together to mark the courage and bravery of those who came before them. One anti-gay campaigner who was a fierce opponent of the Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras and progress on gay rights for decades was the Reverend Fred Nile. In 1985, he suggested that the parade be replaced by compulsory public lectures about AIDS and said he would pray for parade participants. He campaigned vigorously against the decriminalisation of homosexuality in New South Wales in 1984 and played a central role in the Festival of Light organisation, which also campaigned against homosexuality and pornography. Each year, Nile and his organisation pray that it rains on the annual Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras parade. In 1989, one of the most memorable parade entries was Fred Nile's giant head served on a platter of fruit carried by parade officials, with the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence surrounding him as his handmaidens. In 2003, he led a march of around 1,000 people along Oxford Street, the traditional route of the Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras, ending at a stage, PA system and rally at Taylor Square. The marches were met by a considerably larger counter-protest by the gay and lesbian community and their supporters. The Sydney Mardi Gras has grown to be one of the major events of the Sydney calendar. Today it is a festival held over several weeks, culminating in a parade that attracts more than 200,000 participants and spectators. It is one of Australia's most famous and well-loved events, bringing tens of thousands of visitors to Sydney to join in the celebrations. The survival and success of Mardi Gras represents a remarkable and defining change in public attitudes towards homosexuality. The world-famous parade is a colourful and dazzling night of pride, celebration and self-expression. The themes each year represent current issues and encourage marginalised groups to join a larger family of supporters. While it goes by the name Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras, it represents all members of the queer community, not just those who identify as gay or lesbian. It provides a safe space for queer people to express their identities publicly, which can be euphoric and a liberating experience. Thank you for joining us on our short visitation to the original Sydney Mardi Gras in 1978. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, and I'd love you to add any comments that you'd like to down below. And I look forward to the next time that we meet. Thank you for being with me here at Reminisce with Terry.